You know my
Eliminate
hunter's
all
actually
enemy
better for
targets.
PvP than my Titan is. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Linebox, I'm here. I'm here. I'm totally here, man. I'm totally here. I was just concentrating on. Did he just Linebox? You saw that, right?
Your team.
Okay, so yeah, me and Linebox both suffering from a collateral. Not one of my finest moments, but yes, that's the intro clip for this video. Anyway, so as we seg into a Golgoroth challenge mode, which I actually did last night, I still need to do a Golgoroth with my Titan and my Hunter, so this is just getting it out of the way and done with my Warlock. Yet, for some reason, this week I still haven't actually done the raid from start to finish with any of my characters, so I actually do need to get that done quickly, and I'm just pretty much using Sunsinger just to pretty much using my Radiance just to get rid of my Sunsinger, because I'm not going to use that in here. I'm going to be using my Stormcaller, so I'll switch over to that. um I realised when we were doing this, I think the group kind of realised midway that we didn't actually have a Titan, so there wasn't actually going to be any weapons of light. So a usual tactic of um, putting the bubble down, everyone getting into the bubble, and having the gaze holder actually drop the bubble and get his gaze, and while all of us just go into DPS, that we couldn't actually really do that, so we had to do it the long way. And I think here somebody mentioned about an adept, and if there's one thing I can say in raids and all that, is if you see something wrong, I would say try and communicate it. If nobody does, things like that adept will stay up there, and while we're all doing DPS down there, we'll just get shot at. And yeah, if you see something, just communicate it out. If nobody's doing anything, just deal with it yourself, or if you can. It's the same here. We realised that nobody on the right is actually drawing aggro for the gaze holder, so I just literally just go over myself and I'll just uh, do it. I didn't really want to. I mean, the reason why I don't like doing the whole aggro stuff is simply because if you want to maximize DPS, you have a weapons of light, you have Golgoroth looking at you, and then you just walk forward and then everyone just shoots him. It's so much more simpler than having somebody on the right actually just switch, draw aggro, and then they have to jump out, and then you're missing out on DPS, and it's just people have to get in the weapons of light, people have to get in the puddle, and it just sort of wastes time. And I know we're talking minuscule amounts of damage. Well, I don't even know, are we talking minuscule amounts of damage, or are we talking about lots of damage? I think there's a lot of damage. I mean, it's pretty much the difference getting Golgoroth done in what, 3 rounds, or getting Golgoroth done in 5. Anyway, we're pretty much doing the Golgoroth challenge. I wanted us to do a new strategy, but to be honest, I didn't think we really had time for that, so we just stuck to the strategy that we used to, and that's having uh, 3 people on the left, 3 people on the right, and we just pass the gaze back and forth. I mean, I've seen various people do different strategies for it, and the one that I wanted us to try was having everyone just at the front, and then we just run round the back one at a time, and then pass the gaze round. I think I'll definitely be doing that for my next run, and seeing how that works out, and then we'll see how that goes. I mean, for me personally, when it comes to Golgoroth, I really would prefer to do the 6 orb strategy. The only thing is, every time we sort of try to attempt that, it just hasn't gone well. So we have to just sort of stick to doing the single pool strategy. I I know there are some people that don't really like the single pool strategy. They think it's kind of a cheese, and I I for one, I am kind of inclined to agree with them. It is kind of a cheese. I don't think it is what Bungie intended this fight to be. They intended this fight to be us using different orbs and moving from orb to orb while we try and distract Golgoroth, etc., etc. But it just didn't really turn out like that. I mean, if you don't make a fight, if you don't plan the fight out and all that when you're designing it, the community will find ways to get around it, and the community did. Anyway, as you see, I'm pretty much having to run all the way over there, and we're just losing DPS, so I definitely think the Weapons of Light, putting the bubble down there, tactic is a lot more viable. But yeah, as I said, the community will always find the most efficient way of doing things, even if it is going to involve a bit of cheese. I think one strategy I've seen is people actually going into the left wall and just sort of just hiding there, while the balls that Golgoroth shoots at you don't actually hit you. I, for one, I'm just not going to ever do that strategy, simply because I'm not really that cool with cheesing. It depends on what it is. If it's something like the infamous Sparrow glitch when you're in the Siege of the Warmind, not the Siege of the Warmind, the Rasputin strike, where you have to defend the Warsat and you literally have no cover whatsoever, that I'm cool with, because let's face it, that part is just maybe a little bit too hard unless you're using certain subclasses, and it's not worth the hassle. This fight, however, is not that hard. It really isn't. If anything's a hard fight in the entire raid, it's probably the Daughters of Oryx and Oryx himself. And not because of the mechanics or anything like that, it's because it requires every single team member to be good and on point with what they're doing. I mean, in some of the other fights you can get away with, in the War Priest you can get away with having a team member not being quite so proficient with holding auras, because you just simply just don't have them hold the aura. In Golgoroth you can get away with someone not being that good in holding the gaze, because again you can just have them just do DPS and then that's it. In the Daughters fight you might not get so lucky. In the Daughters fight, if that person gets torn and they have to run, yeah. In the Oryx fight, if you're in the hard mode, that is, in the Oryx fight, you're kind of relying on them to get their knight down, and even if and their ogre as well, because they really should be helping out with the ogres, not leaving it to the titans. But if you're doing the knight strategy and not the no knights, I'm sorry, but screw the no knight strategy, you're kind of relying on them to get their knight down and yeah, not die. Simple as that, just not die, because yeah, it's kind of required for, like, you need a minimum of like 5 people to actually do the Oryx fight, and unless you're like super elite and all that. But yeah, anyway, this is actually pretty much the Golgoroth challenge. So as you can see, we're pretty much just swapping gaze from each member to member. Who is that walked in my way? Damn it, I have to reload. But yeah, we're just pretty much swapping from orb to orb. Something that I've noticed with the whole challenge mode is the fact that you can start getting guaranteed drops, and I feel that's, I'm not sure if I actually mentioned it in one of my previous videos, but I feel this kind of skews people's light levels a bit. I think when you see a 315, you expect them to know every nuances of the raid, and just small little details that will improve the raid experience and just actually help out. But to be honest, I've actually seen 315ers not actually knowing anything about unstable light, and it makes me wonder why exactly, how exactly did they even get that far? And of course the answer is challenge mode. When you get guaranteed 320 drops and all that, it just buffs up the light level a little bit more than, I don't want to say than they deserve, but let's face it, sometimes it's just yeah. Anyway, I'm actually still glad that we have the challenge mode, because it means that I can actually get to 320. I mean, I just need to get a good pair of drops in any of my 3 characters, good pair of arms, and I'll be set for my Titan. I'm not really going to bother getting to 320 with my other characters, because I'm not really doing this for, I'm not really taking this seriously. I'm just sort of just wanting to get to 320, and then I'm just playing it with my mates, because that's what you're really supposed to do with Destiny. You're just supposed to have fun with just playing it with your friends and all. And here we are. We are really leaving it till last second. We didn't actually kill him then. Kate, thank goodness you actually got the gaze, because yeah. So then we're kind of pushing the enrage timer a bit. We know Golgoroth's got a little bit of health, and we're kind of just panicking. It even says enrage, so I think we just make a last minute call, just sort of bring down the second orb, and we'll just try and do as much DPS, and we're going blind. Uh, I'm not really doing that much damage. Can't really hit his weak spot or anything, and it's just that last second we managed to bring down Golgoroth, and it was absolutely ridiculous. But it was good experience. It was a good experience. It's good fun when you're doing it with your friends and all. And something like that happened. It just improved the experience for everyone. I mean, like I said, the raid isn't so much trying to burn your way through the raid and do it as quick as possible. It's just about having fun with your friends and all. Now, let's see what my drops are. See, I got chest piece, 320 artifact, but no arms. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do this again. I got the Void Fang vestments as an exotic, but again, I don't really need that. I'm just after a good set of arms, and that is not a good start. I know last week on the War Priest challenge I got 320 heavies when I really needed a 320 sniper rifle to make my Black Spindle a 320. Anyway, that is actually about it for this video. Thank you for watching, take care of yourself, and keep being you.